Well, the White House announcing it's looking to use the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to target members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. Now, it's rarely used wartime law that would allow the administration to detain and deport people without court hearings. The move is already being challenged in court, and it comes as ICE has made more than 32,000 arrests in the first couple months of 2025. But deportations certainly not keeping up with those arrest numbers. Trump's border czar Tom Homan in Albany this week affirming President Trump's commitment to securing the southern border.
President Trump's committed to securing the southern border. We got record security now. I'm focused on the northern border now because President Trump made a promise to American people. His mandate was to enforce immigration laws, secure our border. Securing our border save lives.
So we have seen the number of illegal migrants attempting to cross the border fall to record lows. Some former hotspots now seeing less than 100 migrants a day. But cartels that specialize in human trafficking are adapting to the president's new tough border policies, attempting to evade authorities with new smuggling routes, even using wristbands to tag their human cargo. Joining us live from San Antonio with more is NewsNation national correspondent Jorge Ventura. Jorge, great to see you. You know, we reported these border crossing numbers, they're down. Have the biggest challenges for Border Patrol shifted as a result?
Well, Kelly, we were recently in the Rio Grande Valley sector right on the Texas border, and Border Patrol agents say that those migrant counters are down to new record lows. But when it comes to the cartel human smuggling operations and drug smuggling, that has continued to ramp up. And they say there are, as of now, no signs of slowing down. Now, in that Rio Grande Valley sector, just a year ago, agents were seeing around 2,000 migrants crossing per day. Now, that number has dropped to around 100 per day. Now, we joined Border Patrol agents right on the border, patrolling along a known hotspot for migrant smuggling. And as we followed agents, we did notice children's clothing and personal belongings scattered all along this new trail. Agents say that in that sector, single adults and family units from Central America are constantly being smuggled in the middle of the night. Agents say that it's also common to see clothing left behind by migrants as they now avoid arrest by Border Patrol agents. And what stood out the most during our visit with Border Patrol agents there is the hundreds of discarded wristbands littered all over the ground. Border Patrol agents telling us that these wristbands are not just random trash, but they are a form of control. Cartels use them to track and manage migrants throughout their journey. Take a listen.
What is very intriguing about this crossing is the presence of these wristbands that look like a wristband that you would get at some type of festival.
And those colored wristbands, each having their own designs and numbers, linking them to different smuggling groups. Some of them will say Mexicanos, others say entregas, which translates to deliveries. Even with fewer people crossing now, cartels are quickly adapting, ensuring that their human smuggling operations continue.
Let me lowball here and say that the illegal alien wearing this wristband paid $1,000 to cross the Rio Grande. And I'm going pretty low here. This just shows you how much money the cartels make off of human smuggling.
What was also interesting, Kelly, is that agents say that under the Trump administration, migrants are now paying cartels even more money to be smuggled. So if they are deported back to Mexico, then they could cross that Rio Grande once again. Agents say they're quickly trying to adapt to the latest operations by cartels right on that border in the Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, horrifying to see how common this is. You know, Jorge, we also know a temporary migrant processing center in Eagle Pass is now closing. How are agents on the ground responding to that news?
So I was speaking with agents in that Rio Grande Valley sector. That's a sector that's been a flashpoint for migrant surges since 2014. It's one of the few sectors that actually has the infrastructure to process thousands of migrants per day. Now, in Eagle Pass, that's in the Del Rio sector. So under the Biden administration, migrants crossing illegally there will actually be transported to the RGV to be transported and processed in that sector. There's two massive processing centers in the Rio Grande Valley, but agents say now with fewer crossings, those facilities are nearly empty. So what this means is that migrants are being be removed and deported even quicker. Agents say that after an apprehension, Border Patrol agents do conduct a background check. If migrants have no criminal record, they can be removed or deported within hours after entering illegally inside the United States. So in many cases, Border Patrol right now is using buses to transport migrants to the entry point, where then they are actually handed over to Mexican authorities. Right now, you're actually looking at some of the footage showing how some of these first deportations were being conducted under the Trump administration back in January. You can also see the process handled between the U.S. and Mexican authorities. So all this means that migrants crossing illegally today are being removed and deported much faster, in some cases within of just 1 hour of entering the United States illegally.
Immediate apprehension. What happens is anybody who is caught crossing between the ports of entry are apprehended, detained, and removed.
So despite a quieter border, agents say they are still seeing a huge amount of effort when it comes to the cartels, when it comes to the human smuggling and also drug smuggling. As you can see, Kelly, in those wristbands as well, it's a new tactic being used. So they're saying they're trying to stay one step ahead of criminals on the southern border, Kelly.
Yeah, a critical story to follow. Jorge Ventura, thank you for the update.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.